What's up? Video Gallery here. Back once again with another YouTube video, Cameron Scott. So in this YouTube video, back with basketball, because like I said, I'm really just talking on the present, so I'm talking about what's currently going on with me currently, you know what I'm saying? Now, currently I was saying, let's kind of talk about a little bit more on my injury, you know what I'm saying? Because I do feel I need to touch on that a little bit more. Now I'm gonna mainly talk about basketball. Let's temporarily talk about my injury, you know what I'm saying? So I remember my last leg video, I was saying that I'm gonna wait 1 week, 2 weeks, cause I was like, maybe the doctors or scientists can help. I tried to go to the hospital. I want to explain this story because this is more serious, you know what I'm saying, than some people may think it is. I almost came into another, like one of those near death experiences, right? You know what I'm saying? So I want to explain that story, you know what I'm saying, on Video Gallery. And then also what I want to talk about is basketball towards when I'm done. You know what I'm saying? So here we go. I go to Tyus Memorial, you know what I'm saying, all that other stuff, right? And obviously, you know what I'm saying, they would, different type of, little coding or wherever beliefs they go by. I'm doing what I normally do. But I'm in a wheelchair. Like I said, my legs at Tyus Memorial was really fucked up. Very bad. So obviously they feel better now, but it was horrible. I could not walk or anything, right? So I'm there and shit. Me and my body, we talk. I got a couple people in my body. I run through people that come in and out of my body. You know what I'm saying? I really do. People hop in and out, like different people. So I have different connections in my body. You know what I'm saying? At different places. That's what I really do, right? Now, nobody talks to me like voice, right? I'll lose my mind. But they kind of just vibrate. They vibrate my body in different areas. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's an arm, a leg, whatever the case may be. And I just, I translate it to what it is. And then I just think in my head and then they hear it through the machine. That's what they do. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, you know what I'm saying? What ends up happening and stuff, you know what I'm saying? I'm at Tyus Memorial. I'm like, man, you know what I'm saying? When they gonna take me? We just waiting. Let me rewind the clock. Let's go back to ambulance. You know what I'm saying? I'll call the ambulance real quick. Let's go through the whole story. You know what I'm saying? So I called the ambulance. There's some rude bitch, and then there's some other bitch, and then you got a bunch of firemen. It's not my fault. You got police. I'm gonna get into that story a little later. So you got the police, and then there's ambulance people. I'm trying to get on this stretcher. I'm like, my legs hurt and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Then you got this bitch just being rude for no reason. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about low key just touched me and I'm hurting. You know what I'm saying? All the other stuff. I'm just like, why you touch me like that? You being rude. Yeah, you ain't got no man, you dumb bitch. Essentially, that's what I said. You know what I'm saying? I'm just summarizing it. Don't interrupt me in this video. This is important. Anyway, you know what I'm saying? That's pretty much what I was saying, right? You know what I mean? And then, you know what I'm saying, what ended up happening and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying, is, she asked me to step up, you know what I'm saying, in this little thing. Step up in this little thing, right? Step up in the ambulance. They had stairs, and I'm like, bitch, my legs hurt. Why are you asking me to step in the ambulance if my legs hurt? You know what I'm saying? And then she like, you know what I'm saying, this, that, there. So I'm like, bitch, can you take out a stretcher? I had to say it more than once. That's what I'm trying to say, right? They take the stretcher, all the other shit. This bitch accidentally hit my leg. Now, granted, it didn't hurt or anything, but the fact that you intentionally hit my leg, I'm like, why the fuck you intentionally hit my leg? I'm summarizing. I didn't say this verbatim. I'm paraphrasing. So anyway, I'm like, why the fuck did you touch my leg or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know what I'm saying, she had to get kind of stupid and clueless and stuff like that, right? You know what I'm saying? And then it's so crazy how they did this, you know what I'm saying? This is where what do you call it? To correspond. You know what I'm saying? This is pretty much where it all started. Now everybody's saying it left and right. So man, I guess some policeman or fireman, I forgot which one he was, wanted to join her and try to try me. You know what I'm saying? That's what it was, right? And then he tried to do something rude as well, to try to balance it out because there was one nice girl, right? There was one nice girl, like, what the fuck y'all doing? You know what I'm saying? So then the man was like, oh, I gotta correspond. So he had to do something rude to me as well. So it didn't seem like it was just one hoe, like a dumbass. That's kind of like what it was, right? You know what I mean? So they said, we gotta correspond. You know what I'm saying? That's what they were saying, right? You know what I mean? So, you know what I'm saying? I go in the ambulance or whatever, you know what I'm saying? She just keep talking to me. I'm like, bitch, I don't want to talk to you. I call her ass, all this other shit. I'm all strapped up. You know what I mean? I can't even move. And I told her as verbatim, if I had my legs under me, I would have smacked you. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was. So this is the rudest bitch I ever came across in life. I ain't gonna lie. This is the truth. You know what I'm saying? I had a lot of mean bitches. I won't say a lot, but I had a couple of more than a medium mean bitches in my life. This is the rudest bitch I ever met in my life. And she didn't even slur me until the end. And I made her do that by thinking in my head. That's the funny part about it, right? You know what I mean? But anyways, you know what I'm saying? That's pretty much what it was, you know what I'm saying? I'm telling her, she just saying shit, asking dumb questions, all that shit. That's pretty much what she doing, right? You know what I mean? So then, you know what I'm saying? We get there and shit. We had Taj Memorial, and then they rolled me to the emergency room. They was about to take me in. You know, my thoughts, I'd be in my head and shit, right? They rolled me out all the way, you know what I'm saying, to the emergency room, right? So this is where things get interesting. I'm in a wheelchair, right? I gotta figure out how to maneuver. It's been a while since, kind of touched the wheel, right? I'm like, you know what, this ain't that bad, you know what I'm saying? All that other stuff, right? You know what I'm saying? My body was like, as you can see, he's a natural physical talent. So please remove the scrap metal. That's what it was like and stuff like that, all that other stuff, right? Yeah, it was pretty easy to understand. At first it was like, okay, I gotta kind of bounce, kind of like driving a little bit, you know. So that's kind of like what it was, you know what I mean? And that's pretty much what happened and stuff, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, I'm wheelchairing around and all that other stuff, right? I'm in a wheelchair, and I'm thinking in my head, but the people in there, they got kind of irritated. They was trying to like, what way can we make them talk? You know what I'm saying? All that other stuff, right? So what they had to do was slide people by, of course. But they know to slide some girls around me, some ladies, some old ladies around me, right? And all that other stuff. I'm talking like, please don't bump me. All this other stuff, you gonna make me turn up, all that other stuff. That's pretty much what I'm saying. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying, right? So, you know what I'm saying? After that, you know what I'm saying? What ends up happening, you know what I'm saying? All that other stuff, you know what I mean? Is, as I'm sitting in there, I see an old worker. I see an old worker I used to work with, and we was talking. You know what I'm saying? That's what we was doing. You know what I mean? We was talking and stuff, you know what I'm saying? It was nice seeing her, all that other stuff. You know what I mean? And that was it for that conversation. You know what I'm saying? That's what ended up happening, right? You know what I mean? Then after that, you know what I'm saying? I'm still in the wheelchair, back thinking in my head. Then, another lady want to walk by me, all that other stuff, right? You know what I'm saying? It was pretty bad. Then I seen FSU basketball players. You know what I'm saying? That's what I ended up seeing, right? Here's the interesting part. You know what I'm saying? FSU basketball player, they forced my knee over. You know what I'm saying? So what I mean was my knee was this way, right? I'm like, if this man touched my knee, he must have read my neuron. You know what I'm saying? I was like, this man touched my knee. I'm gonna get up, you know what I'm saying, and try to fight him. That's what I was thinking in my head. So he moved that. I seen him move his finger and move like that. And that's what I ended up doing, right? So here's what I take for that situation. You know what I'm saying? I take for that situation, you know what I'm saying, either I am. But I feel like, what he was trying to say was, you know what I mean, I read your thoughts, whatever. I know you're better than me. And I feel like, you know what I'm saying, I feel like I'm good enough to the point where I already know. Let me help him out. And I said this off camera. Y'all didn't hear it, right? I'm so good to the point where I should not be playing nobody just in Tallahassee just to play. You see what I'm saying? Or in general. You have to be a G League or NBA. Or some other league in Europe or China. You know what I'm saying? I should not just be playing casuals. I feel like with him forcing my body over, it's kind of like you know what I'm saying? It's like I'm too good for him. That's what I feel like. You know what I mean? And all that other stuff, right? You know what I mean? So that's pretty much what happened and stuff. No, he couldn't feel my pain. None of that stuff. Nobody could feel what I was feeling, which is stupid. Nobody could feel my legs. I ended up getting all my neurons back. I'm walking on neurons right now. I got all my neurons back. That's what ended up happening, right? You know what I mean? So anyways, you know what I'm saying? That's what ended up happening and stuff. So I'm just still sitting in the chair, all that other stuff. That's just what ended up happening, right? Then, from there, you know what I'm saying? It was 2 FSU basketball players that came in and all that other stuff, you know what I'm saying? And then one of them left. Then they had a fake FSU basketball player come in He did not touch me, but what they did was they tried to pause my time a little bit. But since I was probably, it's either since they removed the scrap metal, I was able to catch the time in time, or maybe I override the time pause. That's what ended up happening, right? But what they did was they tried to make it as if he touched my head, but he did not. You know what I'm saying? That's what ended up happening, right? You know what I'm saying? I barely saw it. So I went past the time pause. You know what I'm saying? I was saying some shit to him. He just sat quiet. He's sitting behind me. I'm like, I guess he think I'm about to die today, which I almost did. You know what I'm saying? But that's what ended up happening and stuff like that, right? So anyway, you know what I'm saying? I'm still in the wheelchair. You know what I'm saying? I'm still in the wheelchair, all that other stuff, right? So then, you know what I'm saying? What ends up happening is I roll up again. You know what I'm saying? And then this is where things get interesting because I wanted to time it as far as like when that stretcher came out. I'm like, you know what? This is a perfect opportunity. Stop interrupting me. This is a perfect opportunity to get ready to try to leave. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like they took so long to the point where I don't even want to leave. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm just here, just, you know, wasting time. I feel like I was there for an hour, 32 hours. I could be wrong, but it feel like I was there for so long. You know what I'm saying? That's what ended up happening, right? You know what I mean? So I roll up to the exit at the same time as the stretcher. So then, you know what I'm saying, there's this policeman. He loved to try me, right? You know what I'm saying? All that other stuff, right? He looking at me like, you know, you can't leave. Cause he trying to like, he honestly tried to say like, please get fixed. And then he was like, you leave. I feel like, you know what I'm saying, I might have to shoot you. That's pretty much what he was saying. You know what I mean? And then, you know what I'm saying, that what happened the last time. Last time I just left when I was trying to get my leg fixed. And then, you know, he was looking at me like, you know, as I'm walking out, he tried to follow me. I look behind like fearless as fuck. I'm like, if you want to come do something, let me look behind and see if you're going to run at me so I get in my stance. But anyway, he just let me walk. And then some other time, you know, so he tried to threaten me, but that was really kind of light. It was a light threat. So this time he was kind of like, you know, said, you try to, I could feel it because he did some type of force to touch my heart. And then he touched the other side. That's what he ended up doing, right? You know what I'm saying? All that other stuff, right? But it was like, I'm probably gonna have to shoot you in the heart or something like that. That's what he was saying, right? So anyway, you know what I'm saying? I'm still in the wheelchair, right? And all that other stuff, you know what I'm saying? And then I go to the other side, you know what I'm saying? The other side, I see, probably high school or college students, right? I did see a guy in a Raiders outfit. So that's Rickers, right? And then I seen probably his girlfriend did some hoe. And then I see one of the FSU basketball players over there. And then I'm just, you know, in a wheelchair, doing what I do, right? You know what I'm saying? So anyway, you know, I see some other hoe and her boyfriend, all that other stuff. So, you know, I'm talking to them, they ain't saying nothing. You know what I'm saying? So then, here's what ended up happening, right? They touched my right side this time, right? And all that other stuff. So I guess what they did was they allowed one of the girls to feel, you know what I'm saying, the touch. You know what I'm saying? That's what they ended up doing, right? So then they reacted to it. That's what ended up happening, right? When they reacted to it, that's when one of the policemen came out with one of those big tasers, right? It reminded me of an Appalachian situation, you know what I'm saying, where I seen a big taser where I kept going crazy in that bitch. You remember I was like, you know what I'm saying, I was yelling and shit. I tried to fight this one guy, tried to hit this lady, all type of stuff. And that's what ended up happening, right? So anyway, you know what I'm saying, I see a guy with a big taser talking to the police and all that other stuff, right? I'm like, man, you know what I'm saying, I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? What y'all talking about, all that other stuff, right? You know what I'm saying? So he walked off. I'm in a wheelchair, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I kind of have a higher chance of survival, you know what I'm saying? All that other stuff, right? So anyway, so I'm like, well, I'm thinking in my head, am I ready to roll out? You know what I'm saying? All that other stuff. So I'm like, you ready to roll out? To put the police ready to come out again. You know what I'm saying? I get to talking to the guy and all that other stuff. It was like, yeah, you can go ahead and leave all that other stuff, this, that, and third. So, as I get ready to leave, you know what I'm saying, all that other stuff, what ended up happening was, there was kind of like, I can't leave with a wheelchair. You know what I'm saying? So that's the tough part. So what ended up happening, you know what I'm saying, was I had to roll the wheelchair all the way out a little bit beyond the exit, but I can't roll it in the garage while the car's at. I had to, I guess, get up and walk. So it was a tough part because I hear the guy talking, but I'm glad he wasn't following me because then I'm going to have to do something. So I'm in the wheelchair. I'm like, man, I'm sitting here for a while. I'm like, man, I gotta try to figure out a way to walk again. So I ended up doing it. The legs hurt. I said, can you guys neuron me in my head? They was like, we're on it. That's what it was like, right? So they tried to neuron my legs. So I'm walking on neurons right now, by the way. So they was trying to hurry up and neuron my legs so I can go ahead and walk. That's what I was trying to do, right? So I tried to walk and all that other stuff, and I hear a gunshot, but it correlated to just a car hitting a garage thing. So the first time I heard a gunshot, then I just heard other things as I'm walking. So then here's what they ended up doing as I'm walking towards the exit. I see two dudes, right? And I'm walking and stuff, you know what I'm saying? It's so crazy. I have the worst body ever. They decided to leave my body, right? I'm trying to thank to them they left my body, so I couldn't connect with them. So these two dudes walking to me and stuff like that, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking to myself, like, man, it look like they get ready to arrest me. So I barrel up. I just slightly merged, right? And then they just keep walking. That's pretty much what happened. But it looked like security, but there wasn't. And then I left. They said that they made that whole place dark. And then once I left the place, they could see me again. That's what ended up happening. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much what happened right there. And I'm pretty sure they all died, ABC. And that's it. That's pretty much all that happened. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, you know what I mean? So that's the main theme and story of what happened. It was taking a long time. You know what I'm saying? I kept rolling around. You know how I be. I'm talking and shit. I know y'all had to see one past clip. You know how I be talking and shit. That's kind of what I'm doing. But I'm doing more of it in my head than ever before. And sometimes I had to talk out loud. That's kind of like what I was doing and stuff like that. All that other stuff, right? That's kind of like what it was. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I'm saying, that's, what was happening and stuff, you know what I'm saying? So, I'm just, talking and rolling around, and eventually I had to try and make a getaway. But there was like, you know what I'm saying, we don't want to, you know what I'm saying, have you, leave. That's what that other police was saying. You know what I mean? If I leave, I'm pretty much going to get shot. I'm not sure where he was going to shoot me. I mean, I guess this would be the best area because I am sitting down, so... You know what I mean? I guess that's the reason why he was trying to warn me like that. Let me mention this one little thing. I think these two girls, they felt two different things. You know what I'm saying? One of the girls was like, I might end up dying. One of the girls was like, I might get love tapped. That's pretty much what it was. You know what I mean? So, based on that big taser, it was probably a mixture of both. You know what I'm saying? So, that's pretty much what it was. You know what I mean? So, yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's what ended up happening. And that's what happened. That's the story for Tyler Memorial. You know what I'm saying? As we move on, here we go, Capital Region, you know what I'm saying? Where I get ready to go to this fuck hospital, right? You know what I'm saying? All that other stuff, right? Oh, Capital Region, I see that same hoe again, but she had to change her whole appearance. She had to really try. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about she put on lashes, makeup, ponytail, all that shit. She had to change her whole appearance because I was going in on her ass. You know what I'm saying? I had no choice. You know what I'm saying? And then they had a whole new crew. They keep trying to talk to me, I'm ignoring them. You know what I'm saying? All that other stuff. I'm like, man, just do your job. They got this fuck firefighter, you know what I'm saying? This dude, you know what I'm saying? All that other stuff. As if like, you know what I mean? I give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, I don't give a rat ass about you. You know what I'm saying? I really don't. And all that other stuff, right? I'm in a stretcher and shit, right? They didn't around the fuck out my body because if they didn't, you know what I'm saying? I would have had to like hit them the best I can, do something. I'm telling you, 150 neurons, woo! Like, let's say Tyler's Memorial. If Tyler's Memorial body was in that stretcher, I probably would have died in that hospital because they're going to kill me pretty much. They're going to shoot me. That's what's going to end up happening. So the neurons is what kept me afloat. And when he bumped my leg intentionally more than once, you know what I'm saying, in the stretcher, it didn't bother me. So then once it released me for the stretch, I'm about to get in this wheelchair. He said, you can't get in a wheelchair. I said, I am about to get in a wheelchair. Then he was like, you can't. I couldn't even take the wheelchair off anyway, so I couldn't get it if I want to. And then he was like, sit down. I said, no. You know what I'm saying? That's why I was saying this, that, and there, and I left. You know what I'm saying? I was cussing at him, saying wherever I could, and I left. And then that's it. That's pretty much what happened, right? I'm like, you take me out the stretcher. And you're not going to give me a wheelchair. At least Tyler's Memorial gave me one. Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? But I couldn't get the wheelchair even if I wanted to anyway. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much, what ended up happening and stuff like that. So I walk off, and let me say this one more thing. I seen one of Tyler's Memorial clientele as just like people like me inside of a Publix. And I felt the need to say that. You know what I'm saying? That's what I ended up doing. You know what I mean? I guess she predicted I was gonna go to the other hospital. So I felt the need to say that. And she, look, I remember her mom was like, why can't y'all just serve one person? You know what I'm saying? Which is me instead of other people. You know what I'm saying? That's what ended up happening and stuff like that. And me and her were having a mental conversation. We in agreement, like, man, you know what I'm saying? You know, I almost walked over there to go, I almost rolled over there, my fault, to go talk to her, you know what I'm saying? And then she said my name, so I just stopped, you know what I'm saying? I was like, oh, okay, you know what I'm saying? Let me go and roll back. You know what I'm saying? That's what ended up happening. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, you know what I mean? But I seen her again, and that was it. Oh, I went inside Lowe's. And here's what ended up happening, right? As I was talking to one of these people in the paint section, you know what I'm saying? I was doing pretty well. They tried to make me use the restroom as in poop. So I had to, you know what I'm saying, go ahead and, you know, leave, and go back into Publix, go poop, and then leave. That's what I had to do, you know what I'm saying? So that's what ended up happening, and then that was it. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much everything. But yeah, that's the hospital situation. So now I'm in one of those situations where it's either I gotta deal with like, I could try Calvary again, not doing Tyler Memorial because I keep getting pushed. You know what I'm saying? So it's like at this point, I could try Calvary again, or I could try maybe a Lake Jackson or the other place. But Lake Jackson pushed me too. I went to Lake Jackson, they pushed me before. And then the other place, they couldn't even know what they're doing, but I'd rather them. I gotta go. It's the one on Thomasville past the interstate. I'm thinking about going to that one. You know what I'm saying? So Lake Jackson, that ain't gonna work. And Tyler Memorial, they push, Lake Jackson push, and then Calvary Region, I might die. And then Thomasville Road is a higher chance of a success rate as far as surgery wise. So that's kind of like what I'm thinking of, you know what I'm saying? All that other stuff, you know what I mean? So I don't really know. It's difficult. It's difficult and stuff like that. I don't really know. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's pretty much it. That's pretty much everything. So yeah, you know what I mean? That's the hospital situation and all that other stuff. Now, you know what I'm saying? Let's go ahead and end it off, you know what I'm saying, with a basketball topic. You know what I'm saying? Let's go ahead and end it off with a basketball topic, right? You know what I mean? So here we go, you know what I'm saying? I know, I probably talk like this I have been talking like this the whole time pretty much, huh? You know what I'm saying? Anyway, you know what I'm saying? Let's go ahead and end with a basketball topic, you know what I'm saying? All that other stuff, right? You know what I mean? So here we go, you know what I'm saying? Here we go with basketball. So look, you probably wondering, so when you gonna be back? You talk about the surgeries, when the last surgery gonna happen? I will let you know what I'm saying, all that other stuff. With this legs and these neurons currently constructed, it will make no sense for me to try to play basketball, right? A lot of people want me to, I cannot. If I jump and come down, my legs will hurt. On top of it, I cannot move, I cannot run, none of that stuff. I cannot do basketball until I get surgery. Get that through your head. You know what I'm saying? So once I get surgery and stuff like that, that's when I'll be able to play basketball. Until then, I cannot. Furthermore, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Here's what else. You know what I'm saying? I hope that, you know what I'm saying, y'all, you know, like, you know what I'm saying, that highlight I posted, obviously, you know what I'm saying, you already know I mentioned my last video. I had to, you know, re-upload some highlights. I made it look good. Some old highlights I got them all edited and put on YouTube. And obviously I got a practice video, a whole one, and all that other stuff. You're probably wondering, or am I upload another one? If you haven't saw the old video, no, I'm giving away too much skills. I don't want to release any flaws. So I will not show any more practices and all that other stuff. So really at this point, it's kind of like, you know what I'm saying, I gotta try to see, you know what I'm saying, all that other stuff. I might go get a surgery today. You know what I'm saying? Who knows? You know what I mean? I'm going to try the Thomasville. I mean, why not try that one? You know what I'm saying? I tried all the other ones. Why not try Thomasville? You know what I'm saying? As far as I know about Thomasville, they might not have as much police compared to Calvary Region and Tyler Memorial especially. You know what I'm saying? They might not have as much as that. You know what I'm saying? So that's the difference, you know, between it and stuff. So I just got to see and then go from there and all that other stuff, you know what I mean? Because less police equals higher survival rate. That's what it does, you know what I mean? So that's the difference between it and all that other stuff, you know what I mean? Um, Besides that, I would say, you know what I mean? Look, you know what I mean? Basketball, obviously, is on hold right now because my knees and body just fucked up. And it's so crazy because why does my body have to mess up? Like, why does it? You know what I mean? So, pretty much, you know what I'm saying? If I could just, you know what I'm saying, go to Tyler's Memorial, I mean, the Thomasville Road Hospital, you know what I'm saying, all that other stuff. They can do their job and successfully surgery me. We good. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty much what it is, you know what I mean? All that other stuff, you know what I mean? And we just gotta go from there, you know what I'm saying? But for me, you know what I'm saying, it's kinda like this basketball subject and stuff like that, basketball in general, you know what I mean? Look, I love basketball. I know I'm the best basketball player. Like I'm a jump shot away to being the best basketball player pretty much ever. You know what I'm saying? Let me reflex. You know what I'm saying? I don't know nobody that dribble as good as me. Nobody that drive, pass, run plays, grab a board, steal, block, enforcer, impactor on the court. And I can't wait to show people the new version of me on the court. You know what I'm saying? First time drilling, first time practicing in life. You know what I'm saying? I can't wait to show this version of me. Well, I'm about to go through a second one. I'm about to go through a second practice actually. So I'm gonna be even better than those highlights, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's gonna be. A lot of people think those highlights are good. I will be better because I gotta go do another drill session before our G League and NBA. So obviously I'm gonna get better, right? So if you thought that was good, I should be 10 times better. You know what I'm saying? Once I go through another drill session, I do have to drill again before our G League and NBA, and that's what I'm waiting on. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much it and all that other stuff, you know what I mean? But look, you know what I'm saying? We'll come down to it and shit like that, you know what I mean? You probably wondering why are you going to another one? Because I'm getting ready to go to a league. You know what I'm saying? That's the reason why, right? So I feel I need to be my best. You know what I'm saying? That's what I feel I need to do. It's not just because I'm joining just for any other reason. It's because I'm going into a league. So I need to make sure I'm in the best of my abilities. So that's the reason why. You know what I'm saying? I'm not just drilling just for the fun of it, or if I have any doubts about anything. I have no doubts about none of my game. Like I know what I'm capable of. You know what I mean? It's just I said I'm going into a league. That's why I'm going to do another drill session. That's the reason why. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you know what I mean. Once I do that, I'll be ready. You probably wondering, are you gonna try to play any pickup? No, I'm too good for them. And yeah, you know what I mean. I'm just going, keep, practicing. Once I get my body back, I'm gonna go do a drill session, do a couple play around practices, you know what I'm saying, all that other stuff. And then that's it. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty much what I'm gonna do. You know what I mean? I'm not kind of just like what I did out here. It's gonna be an off camera a drill session. And then do a little practices and then that's it. You know what I mean? That's pretty much it. You know what I mean? That's I'll be ready for G League. So that's pretty much everything. But yeah, you know what I mean? That's it when it comes to basketball. So I just want to kind of touch on basketball briefly, and that's everything. You know what I'm saying? So look, you know what I mean? That's the end of this video. You know what I'm saying? I hope y'all enjoyed. You know what I'm saying? This video and stuff. You know what I mean? Hope y'all enjoyed it. And here's one thing I hate. I hate when people push back my hairline. Like, can you not? Because I got this chip in me and scrap metal. Could you not ever touch my hairline while I'm doing a video? Could you not do that? That makes no sense. Don't ever touch my hairline while I'm in the middle of the video. By the way, I got a mirror right here, yo. I got a mirror right here, you know what I'm saying? I like this mirror. This is a perfect spot for my second mirror, right? I'm gonna tell y'all something. I'm gonna get another door mirror and rip this one off because get another door body mirror. That's what I'm about to do, you know what I'm saying? I don't know when, but soon if I can. It's not guaranteed. So let me parentheses or quotation. No, not no quotation. Let me parentheses or asterisk. If I can, you know what I'm saying? I'll stop at the right minute. Let me say this real quick. I'll get a body door mirror, a new one. You know what I'm saying? If I can. And obviously this mirror will stay right here. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's pretty much it. That's pretty much everything. You know what I mean? So look, you know what I'm saying? Hope y'all enjoyed this video. You know what I'm saying? Cameron Scott. Can't wait to go to the NBA. I'm the face of the league, but I really am going to be. I'm happy that, I'm really good at a lot of people, at a lot of things. I'm happy, you know what I'm saying, what I can do. you know what I'm saying, for the league and all that other stuff. And I can't wait to go ahead and get going. So look, you know what I mean? I can't wait to go ahead and do this and go from there, you know what I'm saying? So I hope y'all enjoy, you know what I'm saying, this video and stuff. You know what I'm saying? You probably wonder what if you can't get any surgeries. I'm gonna have to try out of state. You know what I'm saying? So I had to try Georgia or Alabama or something like that. See if that'll work. You know what I mean? But I personally feel like there's no return to basketball until I get surgery. I need an actual surgery procedure. I don't need all this other bullshit. I need to get repaired. There's no return to basketball until then. You know what I mean? So that's pretty much it. That's pretty much everything. You know what I mean? So look, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. I'll catch you next